Right here and Kaide Ladende. Now let's discuss National Orientation Agency and the issue of controversies over loan disbursement by NELFund. The DG of National Orientation Agency, Noah, spoke with TVC News on the issue during a visit to our station at the Eko Atlantic, Lagos Island, Lagos. Now let's hear from him.
The role of the National Orientation Agency in a situation like this is just moral suasion. It's for us to tell people what is right and what is wrong. So we are doing that. And but beyond that, the anti-corruption agencies like ICPC, FCC, they are stepping up on it, and we are working with them, including NELFund. As we speak, our COMOs, that's the Community Orientation and Mobilization Officers nationwide, are now moving around to get the specifics. We know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 universities that are involved. But we want to be specific, see the victims, speak to them, get the details, and get this across to the anti-corruption. We hope by end of this week, we'll have something handy to hand over to them. Not only because they must change, but also because certain people must be held responsible for this very highly disappointing actions they have taken. Fund is handling all of that, relating with the Ministry of Education, relating with all the stakeholders. Ours is, like I said, to give this support and to let Nigerians know that those who do such are not real Nigerians.
All right, BK, we've been hearing all sorts about NELFund. We're talking about the controversies. There's been talk about financial misappropriation. There's been talk about illegal deduction. I mean, BK, what is really going on?
Sometimes you get confused about our country, about the big actors on the Nigerian drama stage.
Yes.
NELFund has been jubilating that it has recorded more than 500,000 student participation in the fund. But at the same time, we are hearing that universities are making life unbearable for students, which means that some students that ordinarily would have been able to benefit from this are unable to benefit because universities are creating
bottlenecks and the rest.
All kinds of problems, or putting all kinds of barriers to effective access to this fund. We heard from the DG of National Orientation Agency. He's a journalist that I've known and associated with for years. I would never see him as a flippant person. And he has facts and figures about this. For example, he told me that Borno State has the highest number of students who have participated in this scheme. The highest number. Whereas some schools are struggling, some states are struggling to even get access. I want to believe that the story is true, that some universities are asking for money, creating all kinds of problems that have ensured that a good number of students who should actually benefit from this are not benefiting. I want to wait for the ICPC to get down to brass tacks and get hold of people who are frustrating this scheme. There are many people out there who do not believe that this NELFund works. If not for the promos, the jingles that the NOA initiated, which is, it has to do with how Nigeria happened to me and all that. People are giving testimony. Otherwise, people will say, no, There's nothing. Those who say Bola Tinubu has not achieved anything, that is just a president who is just there doing nothing, they do not talk about this NELFund. And I tell you, even if, look, even if it's 10 students, just 10 students that are benefited from NELFund, it's an achievement.
It is.
Even if you choose to be blind to it, it is an achievement. Yes, you don't want us to talk about good things that happen in Nigeria. When we talk about these things, you say we are quarreling with people who are in disagreement with us. Oh, if you disagree with me about the progress that Nigeria is making, I reserve the right to quarrel with you. That's a fact. I'm not begging for people to be my friend on this one. If it is about my country, my loyalty to my country is unshaken. It's unshaken. So it's not loyalty to Bola Tinubu. Banish that thought. It has nothing to do with who is president. No. The person who is president will not be there forever. Sure. It's loyalty to country. First and foremost, loyalty to country. And I've seen different heads of state and presidents in our country.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with loyalty to an individual. Those who do not know me, you know, like the individual who thought I would take back what I said. They can go around thinking, oh, he's a Tinubu man. He likes Tinubu so much. I like my country more than I like Tinubu. I like my country more than I like any individual. And I will not join people who will not see anything good in Nigeria. Nigeria will be great again.
Absolutely.
Nigeria will be great again, to the shame of those who do not see anything good about it.
True. Absolutely.
It will happen. I don't have to be a prophet to know this. It will happen.
Now, let's talk about the fraudulent activities of some of these universities, some of these high institutions. Do you think NELFund and NOR should do some sort of name and shame them and go after them? Let the anti-graft agencies go after them.
Just to put it on right perspective, I mean, right context, you know, that interview was done on Thursday. And after that Thursday, we have seen action, especially from ICPC.
Yes.
Giving us details that about 100 billion naira had been released by federal government's record, and we have about 25 billion that can be accounted for. So what happened to about 75%?
Exactly.
So ICPC is digging deeper, and we are monitoring them closely. And the Laronilu, it tells you that this is someone who is a journalist, who is taking his time, that I'm not going to boggle the process. It's not for me to release those people. ICPC is already on the matter. Okay. Files have been submitted to them. He has raised the alarm for the right reasons. So we are waiting, because this is not one of those things we overlook. A lot of students are depending on this. A lot of orientation have been done. And for those states who are actually holding back, they've been encouraged on taking these loans.
Exactly.
And imagine that kind of loan. You are not even paying back when you don't have money. You are paying back when you have been employed, when you have the money to pay this money at no interest rate. And we are also tracing some of these stolen funds that EFCC is getting, pumping it into this idea. What is the greatest investment you can have if it is not education? So this is something that we are deeply interested in, and we're following it, you know, step by step, and let ICPC come up with more revelations. And it will not end there. The people involved will be prosecuted. Universities have not been mentioned. VCs have not been mentioned. But trust me, they will be mentioned. If they love themselves, let them quickly refund this money. Let the people who are qualified to access this loan be given to them. Because, you know, we've spoken to Sawyer several times. I just want to believe that he's also going to throw more light. What happened? How did it happen? We asked all these questions, and we are going to re-ask those questions to be sure that there is no kind of fraudulent game. Because when it comes to revelation, when it comes to the truth, you understand, he does not take side. We are going to say it the way it is, and I want to believe that this is not going to be stolen. It's not going to be stolen. Some of this money came from people who have stolen our commonwealth, and it must not be relooted. That's the word. So it's something we are following up.
Because there's also an issue that some of these university institutions, sometimes they kind of add to their institution fee, the student upkeep fee. And But the thing is, does NELFund have the technology to detect that, hey, there is no fraud in this system, to detect fraud?
The NELFund has been there for just about a year. And they are learning by the day. They are learning, and they are also worried about what is going on. I may find it difficult to believe that that quantum of money that they talked about is true in terms of the scale of the fraud that is going on, the scale of the unethical practices going on. I think that it is pure madness to release the 100 billion and say about 70-something is unaccounted for. I find that one difficult to believe. Maybe it's not that high. But NELFund itself has been complaining. I just saw a story where Sawyer was complaining that there are all kinds of unethical practices, like withholding disbursement information from students whose fees have already been paid directly to the schools through the student loan, like receiving funds directly into their accounts rather than inform the affected students or update their school records accordingly. Nobody has the right to receive the funds into their personal accounts. But when Nigerians want to steal, they find a way to get these funds into private accounts. You remember what happened at humanitarian.
Okay.
That's not an issue that I want to talk about. So maybe one day we won't talk about it on a bigger scale or in form of a book. So let them not think that we have forgotten. No,
we have not.
We can't forget just like that. So, and EFCC has an obligation to do its job.
Exactly.
Without fear or favor. In this case, the man who heads NELFund has been complaining about the activities of some of these universities on ethical practices. Money has been released to some categories of students. You will not let them know, so that you can have access to their funds, keep the funds in private accounts so that they can generate interest. Terrible things are happening in our country that need to be addressed. And I tell you, when people sit there abusing government, this and that, some people have not had the privilege of even moving close to government. The level of greed that they have is elephantine. If they get a chance to get hold of position in government, we'll be dazed at some of what will happen. This is a laudable government program that people have made up their minds now to not just frustrate, but to see how they can illegally use it to their advantage, benefit illegally. That's the word. Yes. So, and this happens all the time. Government has good intentions, but the devil is in the implementation. The people who should effectively implement, they are the obstacles to effective implementation. There's so much corruption in the public space, so much corruption. There's no country that can grow if we permit the level of corruption happening in our country. People steal money, people behave like they have 2 lifetimes to spend what they've stolen. You don't have 2 lifetimes. Your pastors will tell you, maybe you go to church, you go to mosque now, any decent cleric will preach against this kind of stealing that robs the... This thing was designed for children of the poor. And you are robbing them of it for God's sake. It's not designed for children of the rich. That's why it's not extended to private universities.
Exactly.
So the indigent students, money set aside for them, you are mismanaging it. People should remember that one day they will go upstairs
and account
for what they've done. It's really frustrating. It's giving me a headache. It's frustrating.
All right. The director